You too. Yeah. What's good, everybody? Aphectz here. Today I'm back with another video. Now today we got a trip side end part 2, right? Like I said in the part 1, this part 2 is probably going to be the most important part. I should have put this in the part 1, but for those of you guys that want to watch the part 2, this is probably the most important part of trips. You could pretty much beat people with just this part right here, these two plays. I'm going to show you basically the unbeatable man, the unstoppable man, man beater, and then a couple plays attacking cover 2 and cover 3 as well. When I ran trips in like Madden 19 and a little bit last year, I didn't really run it last year, but in Madden 19, PA counter go, you know what I'm saying, that's probably the best. It was my favorite play last year when I ran trips. But everybody uses like the Raiders playbook for trips or Chargers. Like I said, Chargers, Raiders. Patriots doesn't have X-Spot, and X-Spot is basically the man killer, because you have the tight end crosser that I was explaining in the first video, and this is basically what you open up with. So you have X-Spot right here, and then let's go cover one robber, right? And we'll show this versus dime, and we'll show versus dime, because that's probably what you're gonna see a lot, like some type of nickel or dime formation, and we'll show versus how to attack cover 3 as well. So basically with this, the setup is pretty easy, right? All you want to do is just zig B, streak X. The reason why you streak X is you have the it clears out that zone or whatever, that man over there, versus for the tight end crosser. Put the tight end on crosser, put the running back on a wheel. The reason why you want your running back on a wheel or whatever, any route pretty much, like a swing route, something just over there on that right, is just to occupy the user. So the user, put him on the wheel, because if the user just decides to leave the running back, sometimes they do that if the running back, because the running back might be on a flat route or something, the user is just going to leave the running back on a regular route, and then go guard something else. And then if they do leave it, by the time he cuts up the wheel, you can either throw it immediately, or you can just you can take the wheel once the wheel passes anybody over there, whoever's not over there, for a free touchdown, because sometimes the user likes to leave that. So what you want to do is you want to motion over Y. Now let me set this up with 2 curls, right? So this is how everybody runs it, right? 2 curls. We're gonna go no zone drops first, and I'll show you guys how to attack this to basically make them zone drop. Now we're just gonna simulate the user in a spy, and then we'll start simulating the user like guarding something, and then basically what to attack once the user starts trying to guard something, right? So easy money. All you have to do, just motion this, and you're gonna have the tight end crosser is gonna get wide open. You see how much the tight end crosser, now that you want to wait till it clears a little bit more, because the curl flat with no zone drop is probably gonna stand around like where he was, as you saw. So because it's coming from the safety instead of a linebacker, he's gonna play a little bit slightly deeper. So you want to wait till that tight end clears a little bit, so they can't make a click on, tackle, hit stick, or anything. So we'll show that again. This is your first read though, the tight end crosser, because you know that's gonna beat man. The zig is gonna beat man, so you want to read that too. And Tyreek Hill is basically gonna get open for a 1-play touchdown. Basically, look right here. So you have that zig right there, but the zig, you see how the zig. You see how with the zig you had it early, but as soon as that zig started breaking, the curl flat started going to the zig. That's why you had to wait for that tight end to clear a little bit more, which he's going to be wide open either way, because this route from this route is basically like, it's an unbumpable route, right? So it can't get bumped even with press, and it's just like that's basically what they made it so wheels don't work against man coverage this year, but tight end crossers do. Like last year, crossing, I don't think crossers worked last year versus man coverage as well. It was post, if I remember correctly. I actually don't remember. But this year, see the zig, like I could throw it right there, but the guy's right there for a hit stick. Usually people have their safeties in with good hit power, so you don't want to even take that risk, because it's probably gonna get broken up. But this is against no zone drops. Once you have the zone drops and they start trying to block that tight end, you want to keep throwing this for the tight end. So once they have their zone drops, then that's when you're going to want to open up for that zig, right? So versus no zone drops, you have this right here. You see the tight end wide open, but you also have this Tyreek Hill route. I got hit on the throw because I just got screamed at randomly. Hold on. So same setup, X on a streak, B on a zig. I put the setups in the description as well. Right here, put this guy in it. These 2 guys in the curl will simulate this guy right here, right? So right here, you just want to motion Tyreek Hill over. Now you have the crosser It's wide open, and the crosser runs his route pretty fast. So crosser wide open. Once that cut right there, wide open. Now you wait for him to cut, because if you throw it a little bit early, it doesn't matter who is right there. Pretty much anybody like that, if they're same speed or faster, not, you can't have somebody slower than the person right there. And if they are slower, you're gonna have to basically throw it, lead pass it away, and then aggressive catch towards the ball, so you basically create space at the last second. It's basically a little trick to get slow receivers to create space that most like good players do. Because if you have like a slow player there for a budget team or whatever, you're just gonna have to basically, you'll basically aggressive catch towards the ball and throw it away, so you create basically an inch of space so they can't click on and make a pick. So right there, you see once he cuts, he actually just got bumped there. Why did everybody just, yo, that's the thing about man coverage. You see how everybody just, my Tyreek Hill just got bumped, and then the crossing route, just the guy played extremely great man coverage on him. So we'll show this again. You have the crosser, we'll show the crosser, oh my bad, A right there. So we'll simulate this guy as a, so we'll show you have the crosser again, you have the Tyreek Hill route again, crosser wide open again, Tyreek Hill wide open again. Take this up the field, and boom. So you take that up the field, and now what they're gonna have to start doing is they are gonna just basically start zone dropping, right? So we'll show this versus zone drops, right? And versus good players, basically, it's gonna become a mind game. They'll zone drop 20 to 25 yards, right? They're gonna zone drop 25 yards for that. So that's like, obviously they have a user, right? And they could go user that, but if they go user that, you have the Tyreek Hill. If they try to bait that and then they have the Tyreek Hill, then you have, you know what I'm saying, you can basically start doing that, but then they have to guard the running back wheel route as well. They have to look out for that. So we'll show this again right here, right? So 146, what was it, robber, right? So 146 robber. This is with zone drops, right? So with zone drops, we got X-Spot, right? So X-Spot, same setup versus zone drops, right? You got the zig, and you got the running back on the wheel, and you got the tight end crosser, right? So now they have zone drops on here, right? So now they have zone drops, right? So let's say we're just gonna simulate the user in a spot, and then I'll start going over like, what if the user takes this route, what can you do, right? So right here, you just versus zone drops, you have this wide open, right? You can versus zone drops, you can throw that, right, like on its break, and you can throw it, you can lead pass it down, right? But that's not really, like, you can get away with it sometimes, but that's not really what you want to live for, because they'll be able to click on and make a play, or click on and intercept it, right? So what you are going to look for is the zig, and this Tyreek Hill route versus zone drops is still going to get open, right? So we'll show you guys right here, right? This Tyreek Hill route is going to get open versus zone drops no matter what, and then basically the user is going to have to start deciding what he's going to want to do. So you have the zig, right here, get open, and you see that nice rack animation, you get when when that guy beats him completely, because sometimes the zig will just randomly get bagged, especially if you don't have Slot-O-Matic, which is what I said to get in the first video. Sometimes he'll just randomly get bagged, but if it's like, if he tortures his man like that, where he gets like when he has at least, you know what I'm saying, a decent, like a two-step separation. If he has a one-step separation, you might want to just either possession or just rack it regular. But if you have that two-step separation, what you want to do is, I'll show you guys right there. If you have that two-step separation, what you want to do is you want to basically rack it. I'm showing the camera, I forgot my camera's not on. But then you want to hold your stick basically like upwards, basically like diagonally up, so you get that nice little rack animation, like it's falling in its hands. That's like the animation you're going to want to look for. Now I'll show you the other animation, the other rack animation that's not like that, and hopefully it plays good man coverage on him this time, because sometimes the zig will randomly get bagged. That's why you can't just throw it, you have to actually look at it first. So the first thing I'm doing, if I see zone drops, I'll see that curl is not standing, so it's like right there, you can lead past that up. You see how I led past that like upwards? So because I know he beat his man, because I know he'll never be able to, if they have a two-step separation like that, like on the zig, he'll never be able to click on and make a play. But sometimes, right, I don't know. Oh, if they shade underneath. So if they shade underneath, right, he'll beat his man like you see how he was. All right, let me shade down, right? let me shade down and inside, right? So something like this, which is shaded down and inside. The only reason why they won't shade down and inside is because they know they can just get, if I just put X on a streak, he's gonna one play touchdown him, right? So if this shaded down and inside, but this will bag the zig, right? So if they want to do something like this, shade down and inside, I'll show you guys real quick. It's gonna bag the zig, but you can throw it like a little bit. You would have to just throw it a specific way. You see how he has no space? You have to throw it down, and then you have to lead pass it down and possession catch it. You see how he had no room? He didn't burn him like he did regular. So with that, you have this right here. I'm actually not pressing too, so that's messing it up a little bit. Let me just press right here. But even with press, it's gonna do the same thing. Hold on. So you got this motion over here. And you can just look for the zig. Now they could put a hard flat somewhere, you know what I'm saying? They could put a hard flat on that side specifically. And you see, boom. See how he got up the field? He was pressed and it was just no shade. So he tried to basically, like, once the zig started, he basically ran and he got away. But that's gonna happen sometimes. But sometimes the zig will get bagged and you'll have to basically, I'll show you guys right here. My bad I just keep going over the same play, but I just want to let you guys know, like, basically what type of throw you're gonna want to look for. And I want to show him get back. He got bagged on the play when I wasn't actually trying to show how you can hit the zig. But so right here, you'll just throw it and you'll throw it a different way. You'll throw it like right there. Okay, he kind of got, so you see that right there? If that happens right there where he just gets kind of bagged, you want to just lead pass it down and possession catch it so they can't make a play on it. That's what you want to do. And it's gonna have like a little rack possession sometimes, and that's what you want to do on a tight little window throw. Now you have to read that. Now the same exact setup, right? This is with zone drops, right? You have this Tyreek Hill route. The curl is not going to be able, the curl flat zone drop 25 yards is not going to be able to stop that Tyreek Hill route no matter what. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to have these little zone drops and it's not going to stop anything. You still have this right here. And I just got screamed at. Who was that? Oh, I forgot to put my guy in a spot. So the same setup right here. The zone drop should basically stop the tight end route, right? But this Tyreek Hill route still going to get wide open. First thing you want to do though right here versus zone drop, you look at the curl flats. Where are they going? Okay, that looks like zone drops. Boom, right there. Tyreek Hill route. Take it up the field. You know what I'm saying? Take it up the field for a one play touchdown. Now the user, he's gonna, once you bomb him once like that, you got 7. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna start realizing, okay, now I have to guard that. I have to look. They'll probably give you the zig all the way up the field. Literally, that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're just going to give you the zig all the way up the field. And they'll be like, yo, if this guy takes a zig all the way up the field, like, I'm okay with that. So they'll probably give you the zig, right? But then when you have stuff like that, like, if you have a zone drop right here, like, you can basically, or let's say they do something like they put a flat over there on the zig, right? So you can basically put the running back on the little swing route instead of a wheel, right? Put him on a swing route to the right, swing route. Right, and then you have the running back on the wheel. And basically how to put this is just for the new people, just Y and then quick adjust, and then there's all these types of routes. So put them on a swing route to the right, so the swing route will pull down the curl. If the curl wasn't if the curl flat didn't have a zone drop, basically you'll put it right here and there'll be an opening over the middle of the field, right, versus man coverage. So you'll have the same thing, right, same exact setup. So right here, did I have 2 curls? So 2 curls, right? 2 curls. The swing route will basically get the flat, whatever flat zone over there. It will take his attention off a little bit. So you'll have right over the middle of the field, you can put a slant. Let's say they do put something like maybe they put a hard flat over here, right? Maybe they do like this, right, and put a hard flat and then keep a curl over here. So a hard flat for the zig, and let's say, you know what I'm saying, then you get a justy on them, put a flat, you know what I'm saying, put a now you have a slant on the other side because they, or let's say, and then now it's a mind game. You can put a slat with this flat right there, boom, and you can throw that right there. That zone drop curl is too deep to guard that slant. You know what I'm saying? And even if that zone drop curl was like maybe like 10-15 yards, right, for that slant, it wouldn't be able to get that slant. The reason why it won't be able to get that slant, because it'll get the slant if you let the slant cross fully over the middle of the field. But if you throw it right over the middle, like let's say the user just goes to guard the tight end, right? So if the user goes to guard the tight end, and then right over the middle of the field, you're gonna have a window to throw it right as soon as it cuts over the middle, not before it gets to that side. You don't let it run too long. So it has right there. So you have that space right there over the middle, boom. and you take, you know what I'm saying, you take your 8 yards, you dinking and dunking. If every single play you're dinking and dunking your 6, 8, 10, whatever yards you can, and you're basically showing them you could beat man coverage, they'll be out of man coverage, especially after you toast them with a 1-play touchdown. So, and especially, and that's pretty much what's gonna happen now with this zig route. The reason why you want to just keep taking your small routes, because you want to basically show them, all right, yeah, like I just said, you just want to show them that you could basically beat man coverage, so you get them out of man coverage. And if you're not, you can just take your small routes up the field until you get a touchdown. And you got that, boom, right there. Take that up the field, easy money. So that's how you beat man. Now let's go over zone. Now let's just go over zone real quick. This kind of setup can basically do the same exact thing for zone versus cover 3. Let's go versus cover 3, right? You can do it versus cover 3, versus cover 2. I'll show a couple setups versus cover 3, but really PA counter go is really like the zone killer. So this is like another man killer. So you have X spot in the first setup. You had the drive post. Well, no, what was it? Inside cross. So now we're just gonna go over this same setup can be used versus zone, right? Let's go over, yeah, we'll go over versus cover 3. The same setup can be used versus zone, right? You have the zig, you have the crosser, and then you have the wheel, right? So I'm probably gonna get screamed at because for some reason 146 screams in practice mode way more than it does in regular. So right here, let me put this guy right here, and then all right, right here. So let's say you have something like this, right? So you have the same exact setup, and you can literally just versus zone. You have the if they pressed, you can probably bomb. You have the zig, you have the crosser. Whoa, that was bad. It's zone drops. I meant to let me change this real quick. I'm not gonna show zone dropped cover 3 because I'm gonna show you non-zone drop cover 3. I can show you zone drop cover 3, but I'll show that for PA counter go. So versus non-zone drop cover 3. Let's say you're just playing a stock cover 3 guy with the same setup. I'll show you guys how to fully destroy it with PA counter go, but versus non-zone drop cover 3, right? Got X spot. Just the same setup. Non-zone drop cover 3. Right here. Okay. So you're just gonna do the same setup, the same motion. You're gonna look for your zig and your wheel first. You see your zig, you see your wheel. Look for your zig, look for your wheel. That's the first thing you want to look for. If there's no hard flat over there, obviously these are curls. Curls play a little, it's harder to recognize curls than it is to recognize like hard flats and cloud flats. But if you still see it, you know what I'm saying, you hit your zig, you hit your curl. I mean, you hit your zig, you hit your wheel. Same thing, zig, looks a little boxed. I can throw this tight end crosser though and take it up the field. If you're a tight end, get your air truck, take it up the field, right? So boom. Now you have the same setup, right? And you can hit this X route. I mean, you can hit this Y route. You see how you're hitting all types of the field? Basically, you're basically gonna have your user in no man's land. Now let's say they guard the streak right there. I threw it a little bit too early. You want to, right as soon as he cuts, you want to basically throw that. That probably would have been a pick if they would have clicked on. It's like right in the sweet spot between both of those zones. You basically throw it. The user would guard the tight end, so that guy wouldn't even be there. Why did I just get there? Throw out a sack? Why did I get screamed at, bro, in practice mode? It'd be so annoying. So right here, boom, tight end on a crosser, running back on a wheel, right? And there's multiple setups. I'll show you guys. I'll put it in the comment section for this. But so you have right there, boom, right there, and you get that little accurate bully pass right there, and that's what you want to basically lead pass it inside and then lead pass it kind of down. The reason why you want to lead pass it down is because let's say they bring their safety down. If they bring their safety down, then this throw is a little bit harder. You might want to low pass it through the defense, and you'll be able to basically do it like that. So like let's say the safety was down. Oh my god, and I'm getting screamed at. This is annoying. I'll show this one more time. If I get screamed at, I'm going to PA counter go. Right there, same setup. And then you got your wheel right there. You have your tight end crosser, and then I'm just getting, all right, I'm getting screamed at. This is actually getting annoying. Like, why is practice mode screaming at me like this, bro? And this is 146 too. This is let me ID this guy, bro. And I didn't even motion this guy. And also same thing. if anything does happen like that where there's nothing open, you can just scramble. But let me get it so mad because I hate when practice mode just goes off like this. Like everything just starts happening, sacks, everything. Like, so right here you have this little Y route. If they start guarding the tight end will be open pretty much every play versus cover 3, right? And then you can have that. Now that throw kind of got like a little lofted. That's why you want to lead pass it down. You do not want it lofted like that, but it's gonna pretty much be open every single time. You just got to read it, obviously. Don't just throw something because you think it's gonna be open. Just read it the way the safety's playing. Once you have that little, you can have that. Oh my god. All right, one more time. I'll show you guys one more time, and then I'm done with this. Go. I'll show you guys PA counter go. You just ID this corner, so I'm not getting screamed at. And you just low pass it. If you want that basically just low pass it, lead pass it down, and then possession catch it. That's basically gonna be the throw that you want to make consistently. Just because, but the user is not gonna be there. You see how that? All right, so whatever the user is on, one of these guys is not going to be over the middle of the field. So it's like you're just playing. I'm playing versus 2 CPUs, so it's kind of hard to basically see it. But one of these guys isn't going to be over the middle of the field, so I'm basically have to wait for him to clear that side where this hook curl. I mean, where this yellow hook, whatever it is, vert hook or hook curl. It's a vert hook because he's backing up like that. But yeah, so that's the setup. Let's go over. There's another setup that you can do too. Versus cover 2. Let's just go over. Should I go over real quick? Just all right. I'll go over this real quicky. Versus cover 2, right? So versus cover 2 to like bomb cover 2. Let's say there was in like a Tampa 2, right? A Tampa 2 like this, right? What this Tampa 2 is disgusting. Why is it like that? So if they were in like a cover 2 right here, and let's say they were usering the middle, like the mid read. Even if they're not using the mid read, right? You're gonna be able to get over the top of that. Let's say they're using this guy, right? You'll be able to get over the top of that mid read, regardless, right? But you have this streak right here. You have the X on the out route. You have A on the in route, and then you have your running back on a wheel, and same motion over, right? Boom. You have the same motion over, and it's the same concept. Once he gets, you see how you just get over the top of that? Like once he gets, the mid read is just gonna leave him, and then the mid read is basically gonna match to that streak. All right, so let me show you what's happening here, right? So you have this in route, you have the out route. So versus cover 2, right? Show you guys this real quick, and the reason why I don't know why this dude is standing right here. I guess it's because I'm audibling into a cover 2 from a cover 3. So like versus this, you can just throw this out route. You can throw this in route. My bad. That was a vert hook. That actually was a throw out of sack too. That vert hook actually played underneath for some reason, like real underneath. Let's show this versus cover 2 real quick. I'm all over the place. I guess the face cam is making me all over the place. It's good though, because it's like when I'm looking at some the notes that I have, it's a little bit easier. I don't have to be like you guys don't actually see my face looking at the notes. But real quick, so let's go over cover 2. And this video is probably gonna be long again, but it's no problem, right? All right, so X spot, right? So versus cover 2 streak. So you got this streak, you got this out, and then you have this in route, right? Now what's happening here versus cover 2? It's the same thing, right? You basically, all you want to do, you see that wheel route, right? Boom. See, you recognize that there's a vert hook over there, and then there's a cloud. You want to throw that wheel, get your AER. Basically, you want to force them to change their coverage. If they give you that, some people would just bend don't break. You know what I'm saying? Some people play the bend don't break cover 2, where they're just gonna give you that wheel route and you take it up all the field. Every single time you see that wheel route, you just want to take it. That's pretty much like how you're gonna basically turn yourself into a better player, because you're basically gonna take, as soon as the defense give you something, you're basically just gonna take it every single time. So you have this little in route. The drag I think is better for for that Kelsey route, but you have this right here. Now basically what's happening here, that was a little wacky, but basically what's happening here is the mid read is going to guard the streak all the way until he see until that post route comes across. He's basically trying to match the streak, and then he's gonna guard it, and then he sees another route coming across the middle, and he's gonna guard that. So you're gonna have a window for this post route because that other read is not coming across. So you have this little window right here for this little post right there, and you can either possession catch it, you can rack it up the field, because that mid read is basically the mid read is supposed to guard that post, but because that post comes in at a different angle, you see, like, this post route is so good because it comes in at a different like angle, right? That the mid read is just leaving it. Instead of the mid read is basically gonna match that streak because it sees something, and then you have to throw it a little bit earlier than that though. You see how I threw it the first time? I waited a little bit too long. But the reason that's why the streak is going to be open for a touchdown, because he basically just leaves the streak after. He starts matching the streak and then he leaves the streak after, right? So don't throw that pick like I did, right? Learn from my mistakes. So basically, but that is kind of like, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So this is why the streak opens up. You see how he just leaves it, and then you can, why am I getting throw out of sack, bro? This is pissing me off. This is actually pissing me off. Why, like, why am I getting screamed at? I'm actually getting screamed at, bro. This is actually annoying. So you have this streak right here, same exact thing, right? So basically you have this streak coming down the middle of the field, and once you have this right here, so streak, boom, 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 and then you just can throw it right over across the middle of the cover too. You know what I'm saying? This is not really it's not Tyreek Hill, it's nobody. I think that's yeah, that's Nicole Hardman, right? Nicole Hardman. So that's not, you know what I'm saying, he's fast. Not, you know what I'm saying, obviously he's fast, but same thing. So it's, you're looking for that. If you know they're in cover 2, and that's if they're in cover 2 and they have a mid read there. If they're user in the mid read, it's a different story. Now if they have something like this, right, you can if their vert hook is playing like underneath like that, all right, then you know if their vert hook is playing underneath like that, and that in route is not really open. This is basically if their vert hook is playing underneath like that, then you know this Y route is going to get right over that vert hook as soon as it breaks. So for instance right here, right, it's going to get right over that vert hook right on the break. You throw that right there, and you got to get used to timing that. It's going to get right over that as soon as that joint breaks. You can low pass it as well, but you don't need to. You can just rack catch it is better. So right there, right over that break, you know it's going to get open. So you're going to be looking at it. You see it's playing low. So boom, right there. And you want to throw it a little bit earlier, kind of where I was throwing it. But yeah, same thing. You just throw it. Just showing you guys how basically how to throw this versus every single coverage. And I think I just threw the wrong route. I just did an angle route, and I just put the tight end on an angle route by accident, and it just opened up that route even more. It's a terrible route combo though, but I guess basically the angle route just took the vert hook. I guess you could do this, but I wouldn't do this. Look at how it just takes that vert hook and it just bumps that vert hook versus cover 2. If that's a cover 2 vert hook, it just bumps that route. That's good to know that it bumps it, so it basically opens up that Y route. So let's go over PA counter go. I won't spend too long on this, even though this is probably, yeah, I guess I'll spend too long on this. I'm already here, right? So let's go over PA counter go, attacking cover 3. We'll go over attacking cover 3 because I know a lot of people say like cover 3 is the hardest defense to go against, like because it's pretty safe, right? 3D blues, and you have to dink and dunk underneath, right? So we'll go over cover 3 versus no zone drops, right? So versus no zone drops, you have the Y on a curl, put the X on the out route, Y on a curl, and basically A on a streak and RB on the option. Now this basically, the reason why you go this setup right here is because basically what's happening is the option route is basically a curl to an out route, right? So the running back is going to run a curl if it's in zone, and an out route versus man coverage, right? So it's an option. So it's good to recognize zone and man as well. Now this play is not really a zone killer because you only have the PA counter go route is going to kill. Basically the out route is going to get bagged, the zone route, the curl route is going to get bagged by man unless you specifically throw the low ball a certain way, and even that is like 7 out of 10. And the option route will basically tell if it's man. The option route and the crossing route is going to be the only route that's going to get open, right? But this is like if you for sure know they're in zone, right? So if they're in zone like this, something like this is basically like a note. You see that this is versus curls, right? You see that corner is kind of backed up, right? And the way this curl is, right, since this guy is right in front of the curl, what he's going to do is he's going to basically bump that guy, right? So you're basically going to be looking for, so what's going to, let me ID this guy so this guy doesn't scream at me. And basically you're just going to be looking at that. You're going to be looking. Why you just guarded that? That's so weird. I have to, if that happens, I have to lead pass it better. So that's actually a vert hook, right? So same thing. So you put this running back on an option, streak the tight end, and you got this out and you got this curl. Now if there's something like this where that guy is blitzing, right, it'll be the same concept. But if that guy was in a hook, like if that guy was in a flat zone, right? So let's say this guy was in a flat, right, and you a user in this guy, something like this. This is the reason why I'm gonna put this right here, is because you basically wanna see if that guy if that guy is right there. You see where he is on that Y. If that guy bumps him, you'll have this out route, basically easy money, right, for your nice little 3-4 yard gain, right? Now that doesn't always happen, because if that guy, like I just said, if he was blitzing, then that wouldn't happen. But if he wasn't blitzing, right, and he's bumping him, you would have that out route no matter what. So even if this was hard flats, basically right here, so I'll show you right here. So hard flats, right? If this was hard flats, he would bump him pretty much. So you'll be able to still throw that. You'll be able to throw the curl, right? What did I just do? I keep messing up my combos because I'm trying to do two things at once. All right, so if this guy's in a curl, right, and then you're over here, right? So if this guy's in a curl and he's in a hard flat, it'll open up the route for the curl, right? So boom, curl, streak the tight end, RB on an option, right? You'll have this right here. You'll have this opened up wide open, right? You'll open up the curl if he's in a hard flat, right? If he's in a curl flat, he'll bump him, right? So for instance, right, if he's in a curl flat, he's gonna bump him and you're gonna open up for the out route. And it's pretty simple, right? If he's in a curl, he's gonna open up. You're gonna basically be able to tell, like, as soon as pre-snap, right? As soon as you snap it, you'll be able to tell. So as soon as that happens, see how he bumps him, and you have that. You still have this right here. You have this wide open. Now, if the safety is a little bit more down, what you want to do with that route is, is you basically want to throw it, lead pass it down. So instead of lead passing it like that, like up, you want to lead pass it down like that. So the safety can't make a play on it. Now, if there's nobody there, you can lead pass it up. Like let's say they had an inside quarter or something like that instead of a deep blue, then you could do it like that. The streak from the tight end is basically just clearing it out. And also you have this running back option route. This running back option route is a pretty good route as well. And the reason why I'm not blitzing that corner is just to show you guys what you can do. I'm gonna show you guys 1 second another thing you can do. So you have this little running back option route, boom, right there. You can take that in. That's a good little check down for, like, you know what I'm saying, 5 yards, especially if you're getting blitzed and they want to go guard the crossing route. So that's what you can do as well. Now versus like something like this, right? Now versus press, right? Let's say they press, right? And then something like this, right? So let's say they do something like this. Here, Poppy. Cat wants to leave. All right, so let's say they do something like this, right? And they have a little, they're pressing you. Same setup, streak, option, out, curl. Now versus something like this, you're not gonna want to throw that out route, because let's say they just, because you got to throw that out route fast, right? So let's say they are gonna just hard flat that outside corner, and you're gonna try to throw that out route. You don't know what it is, so to recognize it easier, if they're gonna press, you motion this guy in, and then you basically recognize what route it is. Now my user is just sitting in a weird ass place, right? So I'm not gonna, obviously this guy was sitting in a weird place, so obviously you wouldn't want, that's never gonna happen. The user's just gonna sit, unless it does happen, you have other routes you could throw. But for instance right here, so let's say they press again, right? They press, out route, option, streak, same setup. And basically what's gonna happen when they press is you want to motion that. I didn't motion that right there, but you still have this right here. And versus fast tight ends, when they do press, what happens is, like, if you have a fast tight end, right, the tight end can actually burn over the top of cover 3. If you guys know that. I think I showed it last year, but the tight end can burn over the top of the cover 3 as well. Certain cover 3s where it's like a deep, when it's like an outside quarter, and the cover 3 is you see how the cover 3 is in the middle on that side. If the cover 3 was safety was on the other side versus a deep quarter, you could basically just bomb that, right? So out, curl right here, and then option right here, and then press. So when they press like this, something like this, basically what happens, you motion this guy over, and what happens with this motion is it's basically gonna open up room for the curl. So you open up room for the curl wide open. You can just low ball that, you know what I'm saying, take it up the field. Now basically what happens with that, let me put this guy right here, press again. I'll show you guys that one more time, right? Show you what happens one more time with that out, the curl, the streak, and the option. It just opens up a lot of room, right? You open up a lot of room. That out gets guarded, boom, right there. You just take it up the field. You don't have to possession catch that. You can take it up for a rack like that with a little motion out. Now this motion out versus something like this, right? Versus clouds is really good. So cover 3 clouds is like a play that like a lot of people like to run because his bend don't break. Even clouds can make a play on like flat routes and stuff like that, wheel routes, and only make you get like 4 to 6 yards, which is pretty good. If you're giving up only 4 to 6 yards every play, that's pretty decent, right? You're not, you know what I'm saying, you're not getting one play touchdown. That's like something that a lot of people like to do. But so if they're doing something like this, right, you have this little motion, you can take this little out route and you can get a lot of yards on this out route, right? And I don't know what that other guy, what zone is that? What is that, number 20? Why did he just play like that? Wait, who is that? Was that the hook curl that just ran over there like that, like a weirdo? Let me see something. So when I pressed, that was the hook curl. That was the hook curl that just ran over there to the out row like that. That's very weird. Let's show that again. So when I pressed, the hook curl just ran over like that. Why did the hook curl run over like that? Why is like the hook curl matching that route? This is very strange. I don't know. That usually doesn't happen, but I guess, I mean, it just opens up the curl. But if that was happen, you basically have that. Basically, if that doesn't happen, let me user this guy just because that's like very weird. All right, let me user this guy right here. Let me put this guy in a spy. Let me user this guy, right? Usually that's not gonna happen. The hook curl is just gonna like sit right here. Supposed to be what he does, right? Well, usually if that doesn't happen, you basically just have this out route. This motioned out route is gonna do a good job. You can take it up the field. So with this motion, you can take this up the field, right? And you can basically take this up the field and get extra little 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 10, 11, 12 yards. Now that's pretty good. I'm gonna show one more play. Now if they do start like zone dropping, right? Now basically if they do start zone dropping, we'll show you guys how to do this right here, right? One little quick. So if they zone drop their cover 3 to stop the crossing route, because you just want to hit them with the crossing route. So if they zone drop cover 3, and I think it's just a 1-4-6 cover 3. It's just weird sometimes, so that's probably why I probably should have did a different cover 3 just to show this. The reason why I show this as well, make sure versus 1-4-6, you just always want to ID the blitzing corner. Whatever corner is coming in that they're pulling in, just ID that guy. That's pretty much how to stop it. And if IDing doesn't work, slide towards that side that your running back's not on, and then ID the opposite one if they're sending double, right? So you got this out, the curl. I mean, this setup is basically, so this is versus zone drops, right? So versus zone drops, what you want to do is you want to put Y on a flat, you want to put X on a slant, right? You want to streak in the option, right? And this is versus zone drop cover 3. So curls, spy right here, right? So this is versus zone drop, right? So versus zone drop, we'll put this guy right there, we'll put this guy right there, and this is versus zone drop cover 3. Now this setup right here, what you want to do is you have this flat to pull down that curl flat and to basically grab the attention, and it's going to open up room for the slant. So the crossing route is going to be gone. You have this slant right here coming across the middle. Now if they put curl flats, they're probably going to try to use her to slant, right? So if they do something like that, they're probably going to try to use her to slant, right? Obviously. But if they do use her to slant, what's it called? You do have, put this right here, and put this guy in a spy, right? If they do use her to slant, if they don't, you have this running back on this little option route that's a check down. And basically that leaves you have basically multiple routes, right? So if they use it to slant, you have this little option route as a check down, and they're not going to be able to know what to do. Now they just tried to have a zone adjustment. Now they guard your slant, and then you still have the running back on a check down as well. And you also there's just a bunch of things you can do. Obviously, you can put this instead of this streak. Basically, you can put the running back on a curl, right? And instead of the streak from the tight end, because you know that crossing route is not going to get open. You have the crossing route on the out route. Now the reason why this out route is going to do a good job, you want to throw you want to throw it like that, but you just want to basically get a better rat catch animation. I got a bad one right there. So you got this little flat slant combo, right? And basically you put the running back on a curl. Basically you would keep that running back on an option route until you saw that that's what they were doing, and then once you see, okay, he has a zone drop now this is where you basically put the tight end on the out route, and you have this little flat slant combo on the other side. Put the running back on a curl as another check down. Basically, if the user has to guard the slant or the running back route, I just got to throw out a sack, but I actually clicked the wrong button, so I was throwing a pick. But boom, right here. So X, I just put the wrong. So you have the slant. Oh my God, 40 minutes on a video. Okay, slant, flat, tight end on the out, running back on a curl. Yeah, this is what happens when you go 40 minutes in. But all right, so boom, right here, and then basically what happens right here is you motion this guy over, and what happens is you have this tight end on the out, because they have 25-yard zone drops. It's basically gonna open up for this tight end on the flat. All right, boom, boom, take it up the field, and you get, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get your yards here. Your tight end is on a flat, and you could also freestyle. Once you see something like this, you know if you know their zone drops is like that, go back to the other setup. You know what I'm saying? Go back to the other setup where you had your zig. You know what I'm saying? You put your zig on that guy. Now, since you know they have you know they have well, you already have a flat, so you don't really need a zig. So yeah, what you can do is put this guy on a out, put this guy on a curl, put that guy on a flat, put that guy on a slant, and you could, if they have their zone drops like that, right? If they do have their zone drops like that, all you have to do is just, when you motion this guy over, and once that you know you have this guy on a flat, and that guy's backing up, right? So you can take this in and take your 6 yards, you know what I'm saying, your 6-yard flat route. That's once you see him backing up. As soon as you see him backing up as a flat route, that's pretty much, you can throw that flat, right? And that's pretty easy right there. Pretty simple. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I won't be doing a Patreon if you guys stayed. I'm not now, until I'm way more organized. But I am gonna do like I'm basically gonna do like a pay hip style of ebook where I have defensive, offensive. It's gonna be 3 different ebooks that, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge I've gathered from 3 different ebooks in offensive, and then the knowledge I've gathered from 3 different defensive ones, and I'll put it all into one, so you guys will basically save money, you know what I'm saying, by getting that. So that's what I'm gonna do instead, and that will be ready in like 3 days. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out. Peace.